Show now. Hello, Internet. I'm Joe.
I'm Eric.
And I can see a different part of Eric's room.
Yeah,
And
that's what I said. As soon as he logged, I'm like, Eric, you changed your camera. He's like,
It's
no,
been
I
like
like that all the
3
time.
weeks. Yeah, I've been doing this for 3 weeks. And you're listening to Just Cool Enough. And thankfully, guys, even though it's 2014 and we have the internet, people are distracted and all that stuff, thankfully, certain things are still the same as always. Like terrorism works.
I guess so. Yeah. Are we going to talk about the 138 kids that died, or did you want to talk about all the other recent terrorism in the world?
No, I was gonna.
Good topic. Let's kick this one off with a bang. And
I was going to talk about something else, you fucking weirdo. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
I was going to talk about something slightly less fucking.
See, this is why we can't have Joe back on the show. He fucking ruins it, and we just started.
I didn't know. I thought you were talking about some awful shit. You know, like how we negotiated to get our guys, bring our troops home. Bring our troops home. It's like, oh crap, I don't know what to say. Bring our troops home. Bring them home. And then it's like everybody claps, and that you can take me off the stage.
You ruined it, Joe.
Yep.
Why?
I was referring to the fact that about a week ago, a bunch of hackers decided to hack Sony Pictures and leak a bunch of shit and get a bunch of shit out on the air because they didn't like the new movie, The Interview, coming out. And thankfully, their terrorism and hacking worked, and Sony is officially scrapping plans to distribute the film anywhere. So
well,
yeah,
I keep hearing mixed reviews though, because everywhere on the news today I've heard that they are scrapping releasing it December 25th. And the reason why I bring that specifically up is because they didn't say that they're going to get rid of it. Of the news sources that I've heard, they never said they were going to get rid of it altogether. They just said they weren't going to release it on December 25th.
Yeah, their official statement is that they aren't going to release it on December 25th, which was their release date. It was going to be.
So I wonder if that means that they're going to try to come and release it at another point.
Well, the problem is all 5 major theater chains, because they're monopolies and there's only really 5 of them, decided they weren't going to distribute the picture. So they, at this point, there probably is some I imagine it eventually will get out, and they will just have to pay money to those fuckers and get it because God knows they're not going to make a shit load of money because I like Seth Rogen and James Franco well enough. I didn't really like their last movie, This Is the End, all that well, and I wasn't interested in seeing this. But I would have gone and seen this just because fucking Kim Jong-un didn't want me to see it. And so would a lot of people. It's the best publicity they ever would have had. And and if it were in theaters, I would have gone to see it. And so would a lot of people.
So, I mean, but this attack has been going on for weeks now against Sony. Yeah. For the better part of 2 or 3 weeks, there were even reports about it happening even earlier than that. And I know some people and sources close to the matter were going around like, yeah, our whole Sony email's totally down. Everything's fucked. In fact, their solution, because they had no corporate communication, their official solution, they opened up Gmail accounts for all the Sony employees, and so Sony corporate was using @Gmail for all of their email for the past 3 weeks now, because this attack was going on. So it'd be like, hey, I'm Steve from Sony at gmail.com. It's like, yeah, right, Steve. It's like, no, really, yeah, no, the screening for the movie is totally going to go through. Whatever, spam. Nobody believes it if it's @Gmail. Who's going to...
Yeah, it's like those times when you get the email. It's like, your World of Warcraft account may have been compromised. Please send your password to World of Warcraft account systems @gmail.com. It's like, no,
whatever.
I'm not gonna send you my password.
That's exactly what was happening with Sony.
Totally not a hacker or spam.com.
Yeah. Accounts.sony@gmail.com. It's like, yeah, no, I'm having a login issue. They're like, we're having a login issue. Who do we call? Who does Sony call when their login's fucked up? They don't call anybody. They're just like, fuck it, it's screwed. We're using Google now. But you know, the weird part, the internal Sony guys, they had no idea what was going on either. They're like, it seems like it's some Russian thing, but people are speculating it's from North Korea. That's what they were saying early on. Do you think it was really North Korea?
I think. They specifically went after theaters that were planning to distribute the movie and said, if you do this, we will blow up your theaters.
It is the best, worst promotional stunt ever.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
I think it was mostly James Franco. He's big on Instagram. I think he did it entirely. Yeah.
Through Instagram.
Yeah.
What if North Korea is actually just owned by Sony for this publicity stunt?
Yeah,
all of North Korea has been a whole puppet government and everything.
Yeah,
for this one publicity stunt?
Yeah, I don't know what year Sony was founded. Let me see what year Sony was founded, but I wouldn't put it past them to have taken the entirety of. I'm opening up the Wikipedia right now. It was founded in 1946. Yeah, what I'm now convinced that the corporations got together and started the entire Korean War crisis of the 1950s just to split off a piece of Korea so that in
the year 2014.
Yeah, in 80 years' time, they could release a movie and get so much publicity.
Well, it was just the trick was it was just an experimental thing. And they tried the I want my PSP thing in 2006, and they realized how bad that was. So they wanted a whole bigger scale. So that's when they got serious about it. So I know, because I know people close to the matter. That's what they told me. So Sony's marketing is on. They're working really hard on this. So hats off to them. This is like Don Draper times 1,000.
Yeah.
Where did all these emails come from?
Did we get emails?
I feel like there's a ton of emails. They haven't been started off, but I don't remember.
We got donations. Somebody was nice
enough to
donate to Just Cool Enough.
Yeah, we haven't got any emails. We get the fucking Twitter for Business shit that I keep on subscribing to, but they keep fucking sending us shit to. And then fucking Joe's domains get sent there.
Wait, no. You see, I logged in this time. I don't know what account you guys are logged into, but because I had to reinstall, I logged into the show at justcoolenough.com, and there are at least 12 emails here that go back to the end of last month that have never been read.
Wait a second.
So I'm wondering if emails
are we just not getting emails,
and they're not getting forwarded to your account, because there's a whole ton of them here, like content things. Hi, people have been emailing us. And apparently we've been complaining.
I don't believe that all that shit's set to forward. I know that, folks.
No way. It's not. I swear. I'm going back to
Okay. No. Wait.
No. I think I might have figured this out, because some of these are saying 5/12/11. So I'm wondering why the emails stopped at 5/12/11.
That's because they started getting forwarded.
Is that the point at which they started getting forwarded? Because I also don't remember reading any of these emails ever in our lifetime.
It was probably a long time ago, Ike. But that would be hilarious if we.
Because I was like, wait, this didn't look.
Email address.
Well, we could read all of these and pretend they're totally new, and then it's
okay. You know what? Let's read one for fun. Pick a good one out. Let's read some emails. If you want to email the show, you can. Our email address is theshow@justcoolenough.com, and maybe 3 or 4 years later, we'll read your email and read it out live on air and answer whatever weird question you have.
All right. Well, this one's from 5/12/11 from Logical Mayhem, and he writes, "Best podcast on the internet. Eric, you crack me up. Don't stop being a cynical bastard. It makes me smile. Joe, you have your own brand of awesome humor that morphs into something hilarious when Eric's around. Max Speed is pretty lame, though. I need to work on that. Dunkor, after OMFG...
Wait, what's the name of the guy?
This is Logical Mayhem.
Logical Mayhem. Are you doing something?
Let's see. I can't find it. I don't know. I don't know how to log into the Just Cool Enough that email, but that's not why would you ever log into that email address?
Well, I was having trouble getting it to work on our other one. For some reason, it wouldn't let me in, so I was like, I'll just go into the show at justcoolenough.com and put in the same password that we usually use, and it let me in. Let's see. Anyway, I tried to...
Wait, was it FartKnocker13, our password?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Actually, it's 14 now. I changed it for security purposes.
Well, yeah, because we updated the year.
Yeah.
Well, now we're gonna have to change it to 15, so nobody will know.
Not till the end of the year.
So anyway, he goes on to say, Joe, you need to work on that. Dunkor, after OMFG.FM, you'll always be Dunkor. You're good to listen to. He never said anything about me. I tried to rate you on iTunes.
Before you were on the show.
But I've been here since day one, and I don't
remember.
He does say Eric, Joe, and then Dunkor, as if Eric and Dunkor were somehow two different people.
I remember this email though. Like I remember this email from a while ago. Like
this is our top 10 emails from the blast from the past email episode.
Oh,
yeah. Eric. I tried to rate you guys on iTunes. Can't find out how to make that happen though. I refuse to put it on my computer. Maybe that had something to do with it. Anyways, keep up the good work, guys. I know you people are dicks to you. Don't let it get you down. Eric, you should go on 10 Tom Hammers live with Jesse. Listening to you argue would make my day.
I remember that email.
Thank you, Logical Mayhem from 2011.
Yeah, I don't know how to log into that email address anymore.
Well.
Oh my gosh! But if you want to send an email to our actual email inbox, it is theshow@justcoolenough.com, and we wanna hear from anybody who's
that email did forward to us. That was one I physically forwarded before I set up the email because I see that exact email right here. Yeah. So these aren't emails that you fucking. I told you. God damn it.
No, this is the reliving email.
This is like what happened to Sony. They're like, our email's not working right, and then they're like, no, I forwarded it to you.
That's what we get for using Gmail.
And then like they realized they were hacked, and they're like, oh man, our movie. So. That's exactly what happened.
Because all that shit forwards, and it moves it straight to the archive so you don't see it. But those were like when we first started this fucking show way back when or some shit, and all that fucking shit.
We started in 2010. I was thinking about that. Hey, I got into our other account. Now I'm in both. I was thinking about that the other day when we didn't do a show. It was like, how long have we been doing the show? Since 2010 now?
5 years.
5 years. We've been doing this. Oh, holy shit! I went to Ireland. I saw Slanik.
Well,
I had dinner with Slanik.
I was wondering if you were, because you tweeted at him. I was like, he tweets maybe once every 5 years. So
yeah.
I was like, I don't think that's the best way to get a hold of him.
And I live in Massachusetts, and Joe's totally stopped in Boston. I totally did go see him.
Yeah. I was like, hey, we're gonna be here between this and this, and if you want to come, Ike was just like middle finger. This is what he sent this in emojis. He sent this to me via text message, and he just said middle finger, and then he made a penis thing, and then he made the penis like dripping water. It was, and then so I was like, wow, Ike, that was really not like you. So then I took a picture of me rubbing my butt on the.
I don't
Boston
care. Tell your story about fucking all the places.
Anyway, I went and saw the Boston Massacre place where Ike lives, so that was cool. But no, I went to go have a dinner with Slanik, and he's like an old guy now, and just like me. I was like, wow, so you have aches and pains in the morning? It was like the most depressing conversation you possibly could imagine. He's like, so how are all the guys? I'm like, I don't know. I talked to Ike and I talked to Eric, and that's it. They're like, what about all the other people? I'm like, fuck if I know. I have no idea what happened.
Probably dead. I don't know.
I'm like, when was the last time you talked to anybody? It was like, I was happy to see him, but we barely reminisced. We talked about Ireland more than anything, and it just cemented in my brain the fact that like all that stuff that this show was based on was so long ago and so crazy. It was 7 years the last time I saw that man, and we had a delicious dinner. And he is
it's been 7 years since I've seen him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see Eric and Kyle on a regular basis, but Dustin's married. Eric's getting married. Kyle's a fucking loser who no woman will have, so we're brothers like that, so we'll have each other if nothing else. But yeah, it's
and all of his voice work, you'll have that.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at a holiday party Friday night, and for some reason my Twitter account goes off. I'm like, I use Twitter like never. I'm like, what the hell? What's on Twitter? And I look, and this is from 12/3, so way earlier in this month. We're going to Boston until 4 p.m. Come play with us, Mike or Ike. I'm like, this is from 12/3. I'm like, what the hell? Why is it so, like, 2 weeks ago? And then I get this other text message like, hey, we're in Boston. I think it was on Facebook. I was like, fuck, that was tonight. Damn it. But I was at the holiday party, so I'm like, good cover. Just use that as your cover. And then I was like, must explain in emojis. And then I drew a penis and it was leaking. So I figured he would understand that meant holiday party.
I rubbed my butt on the ground like a dog on the carpet, but I did that on the spot of the Boston Massacre, and Sarah took a video.
Boston Strong.
Well,
I was screaming Boston Strong at the top of my lungs.
That's certainly a great way to get back at Boston, the city of Boston. Like what? I don't understand.
I know. I don't understand
why. Like I'm gonna rub my ass on Boston.
I can't see my friend who I see on a weekly basis. I'm gonna desecrate a site of a massacre for some reason.
So,
okay. So it's not even a weekly basis. I'm lucky if it's a weekly basis. Joe's like, oh, fuck it, we gotta do a better show, and leaves.
Oh, my girlfriend sneezed and it was gross. I'm gonna jerk off on the Battle of Wounded Knee. You know, what
you did that too?
Yeah.
That's oh, never mind.
My mom made pork for dinner, and I wanted Parmesan chicken. I'm gonna go fucking like burn down a Holocaust museum. Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you rub your ass on?
That's my fetish.
Okay.
So, you know, I like when we're at the site of the Boston Massacre, and Sarah, I didn't step on like the center part because I figured it was like you'd get bad luck for 7 years or something. I don't know. I was like, I don't know. You know, I'm trying to like actually pay my respects to the site, and I've been there once before.
Your ass on it?
Yeah, before I did that, before I got the weird text message, but like so. And then Sarah, she just walks right onto the Boston Massacre thing, and, like jumping on it and stuff. I'm like, don't do that! What are you doing? She's like, it's just a spot on the earth, and she's just gallivanting around town on top of the site. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. Why are you doing that? I don't know. It affected me though. It changed me. I can't believe someone defaced an American soil like
she
that.
Walked on. You're like, officer, she walked on it. All I did was drop trow and took a shit in the middle of the street. Okay,
that would
they're
be
the same. They're basically the
that.
same.
But yeah, like, and then like a pack of Pan-Asian tourists just walked by and just walked all over it and stuff. I'm like, guess it's not a big deal, whatever.
It's a street. You're supposed to walk on them.
Yeah, it was. It's exactly what it is. There's like it's like built in the middle of a cross section where there's like 4 streets intersecting. So, yeah. But no, so I had dinner with Slanik. He's still a cool guy, and he's still going out with the same girl, Claire, that he's been going out with since forever. In fact, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I don't know. You know, he's not married, but he's gonna be having a little Slanik soon.
Oh, so, sweet.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, dude. He's like, yeah, you know, I worked for this, I did that. It was just like 2 dads talking at dinner. I like left dinner, I'm like, wow, that was a really good time. I'm like, holy shit. I could have talked about like my arthritis pain and it would have fit right in with the conversation.
The grandkids, you know, they listen to the music, the hip hops and the rip raps, and I don't know what these kids are talking about. Back in my day, we had good songs like this one. But
yeah, but Ireland was absolutely amazing. See, Ireland for me, being Italian, all I know about is Italy and America. Being an Italian American, right? So I didn't learn about Ireland. For all I care, it was like just another spot where white people came from. I was like, all right, yeah, just another white people place. And so I went there and I'm like, oh yeah, these hills, these rolling hills are nice. Oh shit, there's castles. Oh shit, look at this history over here. Wow, this scenery is great. Holy fuck, this is great. And I ended up like falling in love with Ireland while I was there. It was just absolutely amazing. They have such a command of the English language. Like the way we talk is so blunt and just like it's like we're Neanderthals compared to the way the Irish meld our language. It's wonderful, but and their everything was just nice there. I don't know. I had a good time. Great vacation. And
random useless fact: the English used to talk like we do now, and in order to separate the middle class from the upper class, they started talking the way that the English currently do. So they could differ, and then it just stayed that way. So that's how they got their English accents, not the Irish, but the English. So that's why they think they're all hoity-toity, but really they sounded just like we do now.
I made a huge mistake of grouping Irish and English.
Oh, you don't do that.
Together. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, like
the only step above that is saying Scottish people and Irish people are part of the same.
I mean, seriously.
No,
seriously.
it's not. That's not a step above because the Scottish didn't oppress the Irish for thousands of years.
I made some mistakes. All right, I didn't go over there and like I'm just a dumb American. I'm gonna do. But like in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, you got the northern part of Europe with like the Finnish people and all that other stuff, and then you got like the white people over England and that whole thing, and just the actual differences in the cultures were so apparent there. I really didn't have an appreciation for how long that people have been on this earth just building stone structures and farming
America,
the land. It was really amazing.
That's one of the things going to any other country. It's just like America, most of our buildings, like we hardly have anything that isn't older than 1972. I know.
If it's more than 200
you have to go.
old,
you have to go way the fuck out of your way to find a build. Like I remember Slanik, we were like, somebody's like, like years ago, somebody's like, yeah, they're having this thing for a building in our city just turned 200 years old. He's like, I don't think there's a building in my hometown that isn't 1,000 years old. Like,
and that's one of the cool things. Like one of the when you are trying to find a bathroom. You're in a pub, you're drinking, you're listening to a guy on a fiddle and a bagpipe or whatever, and he's singing along, having a good time, and then you're like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. In America, the bathroom is clearly marked and usually on the same floor. I climbed 5 flights of stairs to get to the nicest bathroom I've ever seen in my life, but the bathroom was like normally like a bathroom would be in the basement. Nope, because these buildings have been around and been retrofitted for hundreds of years, so this bathroom happened to be on the top floor, and it was like Hey Arnold's studio apartment. It had a skylight, it was overlooking a fucking castle and river, and like I just walked in there.
Joe dropped trout and rubbed his ass all over the floor while staring at the castle.
It was amazing.
Hey, Sarah took a picture of Stonehenge, so I pushed over all the rocks, okay? I don't see the difference.
Oh,
if
that was
disrespect it. I don't see what I did was so weird.
I went to this place called Newgrange. Did you guys ever hear of that place?
No.
I never heard of it either. It's older than the fucking pyramids. God, I didn't know that existed. It's older than the pyramids. Some old Irish people made it as like a burial ground, and we went in there, and it's older than the fucking pyramids. I had no idea that stuff even existed. And there are all these castles, and it was just such a lovely time. The craziest part, though, was I had to drive a manual on the wrong side of the road and sitting on the wrong side of the car and shifting with my wrong hand. And
this is why I hate Joe sometimes, because he's like, I saw all these beautiful castles, there's all this history. The weirdest thing was I was driving a car. Did I mention I'm Italian? I have to mention that every 6 minutes, otherwise I start to bleed.
No, it's if I don't mention it, then I get. Never mind.
Well, you see,
Marinara will never stop.
But on the flip side, Joe, I know you might have probably listened to the 1 or 2 shows that we did, but in case you missed it, I mean, we had some pretty exciting stuff that happened to us while you were gone. I mean, just to mention, like this past Monday, we fought these 2 things that looked like beholders in D&D, and we managed to take them down relatively easy. I mean, it was amazing to watch. It was great teamwork, and I wish you could have been there to see it.
Well, I'm really proud of you guys, and I'm glad you did your fun little show twice.
We fucked over our DM, man.
We did.
He's like, yeah, they're going to fight their way through all these fucking Duragar, and I'm like, nope, I'm going to use a magic spell, lets me talk their language, I'm going to talk my way out of it and play music. And I did. And then we befriended it. And then he was like, then he had to like come up with something we had to fight, so...
It was like, there's a wine bottle and then a broomstick that came to life, and... they're attacking. He was like totally out of ideas.
So see, it's just like going to Ireland.
It was just like it sounds just like Ireland.
It was. I was just as much in awe as I would have been standing at Stonehenge.
That was so. Yeah, really cool.
I hear Stonehenge is one of the biggest henges in the world.
I hear that's not in Ireland, actually. Just saying.
Well, now you're gonna school me? Yeah.
I mean, I've been there, so I know. I've seen everything.
So
That was one of the weird things, because our country is so big, and like it takes longer to drive from one part of my state to the other. And in Ireland, it's like, oh yeah, I just drove like 2 hours to get here. Everybody's like, whoa, you drove 2 hours? It's like I came from the moon.
Yeah, I remember we had two Irish guys back in the WoW Radio days, Slanik and another guy, and I was like, how close are you? And like, oh, we're in these parts we're like opposite ends of the country. And I thought they meant like one was in the far north of Ireland and one was in the far south. They were 40 minutes away from each other.
I know, right? Like
it was like one highway, 40 minutes.
That's my commute to work in the morning.
I seriously, like, the people are like, oh my gosh, you drove 3 hours in one day, and I'm like, yeah, I used to do that to fix a copy machine.
Yeah,
that's nothing. You have no idea.
I flew 6 hours to your place, and then we drove 10 hours to a wedding, and then 10 hours back on the same day.
That was a good bit of driving, yeah. But yeah, so you can go to one side of the Ireland. If you say 4 hours, you could be anywhere in Ireland, guaranteed, with traffic, with weather, with sheep. So, still a really cool country, though. I mean, it's the size of like a state here, but size doesn't matter. You know, you gotta have a nice personality. The Irish people are amazing.
So that's why.
All right, I'll stop gushing. I'll stop gushing now.
I was sitting in class today, and I get this telephone call, and usually I don't pick up, but I look down, and I'm like, it's a Texas number. I know it's got to be some kind of stupid automated bullshit, but I'm like, okay, I'll bite. So I'm like, pick up. My students are staring at me on the phone, but I'm like, whatever. I'm like, hello. And of course, there's a long pause because the machine has to kick in. And then it's, hello, if you're, we noticed that your account is eligible for an interest rate decrease. If you would like to take advantage of this, blah, blah, press 1. So I was like, I don't even have a credit card. So I'm like, okay, I'll bite. What I'm going to tell us, like, hit 1. And the woman picks up. She's like, hello, so you're interested in taking advantage of our lowest interest rate for your account? I'm like, I don't have an account. She's like, I'm sorry, you must have, what, do you know what number you called? I'm like, no, you called me, and I don't have an account. And then she hung up on me. So I immediately hit redial, called them back.
And hold on, I want to make you pause right here. That's where, I mean, like, this is already over the line, so a sane person would have stopped right there. And even somebody who is on the hinge of going crazy would have stopped right there. All right, continue.
So I called the number back because I'm like, well, a part of me is like, it's probably a spam, but just in case somebody out there has used my identity, I want to be on top of this. So I call it back, and as soon as I call it back, it's like, this number has been disconnected. It is no longer in service.
So
I got hung up on, and then the number mysteriously vanished.
Is this like a ghost story? I know you're talking about ghost stuff a lot. So
yeah,
like
before you left.
Yeah, like so the ghosts finally get you.
Turns out the credit card offer was right behind you.
The call's coming from inside the building. It's 0 APR, no annual fee. I know this stuff because I'm an
too
old
good.
guy
I must
now.
be dead.
This sounds like a shitty commercial. Why aren't we writing shitty Halloween
The
commercials?
reason why I couldn't get through the whole time is I was dead. Spoilers.
Oh no! Oh, wouldn't that be a bitch if we found out that Ike was dead this whole time? He was like just testing the waters like 3 weeks ago. He's like, "You guys believe in ghosts at all?"
Yeah.
It's like a somebody who's bisexual or something coming out to their parents. It's like, "Have you guys ever experimented or anything?" Or Ike, are you trying to tell me you're a ghost?
No.
I mean,
That's ridiculous.
Eric and we'll support you no matter what you are. We just want you to know that we're gonna love you and take care of you, and we can get through this together.
Not my co-host. I'm not doing a show with this goddamn ghost.
You stop this, Eric. He's a good boy.
It's a phase. He's just doing this to hurt me, Sheila.
Sheila.
It's a life choice. He can stop whatever he wants.
Yeah. It's a choice. He doesn't have to be a ghost.
You
quit.
listen to me. He can't quit being a ghost. We knew this when he was when he was first on the show.
It is a choice because you don't think I want to be a ghost, huh, Joe? You don't think like in high school
When you started the show, you said that was just a phase, and I believed you.
And it was, and I chose. You think I'd like this? You think I like being only kind of pale? I wish I was straight up.
I can't deal with this. I can't deal. I'm a ghost too. I'm a ghost too. God damn it.
I want a divorce.
How does this family exist?
I went to that church camp. I am now a happily married corporeal being.
Oh my gosh. Ike, I don't care what you are. Just stay with me. I know. I don't care if you're a ghost.
Why? You keep leaving me, Joe. You leave me with him, and he abuses me when you're not here.
You be nice to our ghost friend. You come here, Ike.
That's it. After the show, I'm flying 14 hours to that side of the country, kicking your ass.
Yeah, that's it.
No, stop! Let him go! Let him go! You're tearing this show apart! If you're not watching the video of this, you're just getting audio. You're just missing out, man. You are missing out. We do a video on the YouTubes, so you can justcoolenoughus.com on the
Watch
YouTube.
us live.
Watch us live.
You can even email us live.
Oh man, we've been pushing that email.
We have an email address? What's that email address?
I don't know. Apparently, I give it.
The email address is theshow@justcoolenoughs.com. Hey, I wanted to do kind of an end of the year show, so actually, if we could get some emails, I want to know some maybe predictions. I want to do a prediction show. And
I'm going to predict that 50% of next year you won't be on the show.
50%?
I predict no one's going to email.
I haven't quite fleshed out the topics, so I don't blame you. But I wanted to do. I was like dreaming this up. I'm like, oh man, that'd be cool if we were just cool enough to do a prediction show. But I don't think that's the case. So, but if you wanted to try and predict something, I don't know. It was a half-baked idea. I should have just stopped talking like a half hour ago. Listen, I'm just being honest now. I'm not even going to try to cover up the non sequiturs. Oh man. So here's one last nerd story I had this week. So they opened up and I know Joe's gonna roll his eyes, but whatever. They opened up the new wing last week of the new raid instance in World of Warcraft, and I'm sitting there playing. One of my friends gets me in one of the actual group raids, and I'm running. I'm having a good time. But the guys in the raid are like, "Oh, you have to have Mumble to get it." I'm like, to be in this raid. So I'm like, "Fuck, okay." I'll go download Mumble. So I'm sitting there in the raid, and I'm hitting, okay, I find the site for Mumble, put it on my computer. I'm just click yes, yes. Do you want the search bar? No, yes, yes. We're going through it all. I get installed. I get through the end. I'm like, yeah, sure. This is awesome. I get some good loot. And then my virus protection pops up and says there's 2 add-ons on your computer that are notorious for not being safe. I'm like, oh, well, just delete them then. It's like, sorry, we cannot do that. I'm like, no, you offered to delete them. Delete. And I was like, okay, so I'll shut it down. I'll turn it back on. Delete them. It still won't delete them. I had to uninstall. I'm pretty sure they're still probably on there somewhere, but out of sight, out of mind. But I had to uninstall Chrome and all this other bullshit to get it off there. So I never want to touch Mumble again, and I hate people that require you to use that bullshit. Why would you go to Mumble?
I know, and there's things like Google Hangouts.
You got peer pressured into Mumble when there's just so. I mean, the Cursed Gaming app is pretty much.
Yeah, Curse is great, but even just TeamSpeak, I haven't used Ventrilo in a while, but Google, Skype. Well, I guess when you're doing a 25-man raid, you need a TeamSpeak or something, or maybe
I don't know.
Maybe
you can
Curse.
still do it on the Cursed thing, but if my raid saying used Mumble, it's like, all right, and now make sure all your guys, these guys got to be spec'd this way, and yours guys got to be spec'd that way. And this raid's gonna go right.
This is how I know you haven't played in a while, because there aren't even really specs anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so old and antiquated. It's like, all right, now we're gonna go raid Mordor on the Eagle. I don't even know any raid things anymore. We're gonna raid Karazhan. God damn it! And do the thing.
I'm gonna take a quick side. a thing and just say really quickly, we just popped up. He did it 12 hours ago apparently, but it just popped up in our email that Jack Move has offered to pay us a $2 a month subscription.
He's back. That must mean that his baby's making him money.
So what else do babies do? And we also got another email from me saying I win. I emailed.
What? You didn't win. It wasn't a competition, Ike.
But Eric said he bet that his prediction was that nobody's going to email us.
Next year.
All right, I'll just do it next year.
Yeah.
I was gonna actually. I didn't mean next year, but I'm glad you did that just to prove Eric wrong 2 minutes ago.
Well, he didn't say one of us couldn't email. I'm just throwing that out there.
There was no stipulations here. No strings attached, just like the NSYNC album. So, speaking of NSYNC, I heard some NSYNC today while I was going to the gym, and normally I'm at the fat camp part of the gym where they're like, "All right, fatties, everyone line up, and now we're gonna make fun of you," and then we all leave like an hour later after we're all sweaty and crying. And then there's like the strong people part of the gym where they're just like doing weight training like with weights, not like for fat people. And I always thought like the weight
They're
training.
lifting fat people, actually.
Yeah, that's what they do. Once you get the perfect size of fat, then they just sacrifice you to the strong people. But so I always pictured like the weight training people like listening to like AC/DC and like Led Zeppelin and being like, "Yeah, you want to rock!" And I walked through their part of the thing. They're listening to like NSYNC and like the Boyz II Men. They're like, "I'll never let you go." Like, what the
They're all
hell?
crying. They have like fucking.
I know.
In their
There's a bunch of like big ass dudes and like ripped chicks just like doing like pull-ups and working their quads and deltoids, listening to NSYNC. It wasn't even like the Christmas album. I'm like,
bye.
yeah. I'm like, what the hell is? And I like asked my trainer. I'm like, isn't like, aren't they supposed to be listening to heavier stuff? They're like, yeah, they usually do. Today's a weird day. I'm like, wow, what did I miss something? So even anybody can spread, even to NSYNC.
I understand that I'm the oldest person of the three of us on this show, but I can make you all, I can make the two of you feel as old as I do with this story. I had a student this week, because last week we had our first basketball game in our high school, it's new high school. The basketball coach is playing on a stereo. He's playing the radio.
Okay.
So one of my students goes over to it and accidentally hits one of the buttons on the stereo. Now this thing has CDs and like cassette tape players on it, and so she comes back over to me. She's like, "Mr. Dodge, I don't know what I did. It stopped playing." I was like, Why don't you just go over and hit the radio button?" And no, she's like, "The music stopped playing on the thing." I'm like, "The thing?" She's like, and she's pointing behind her. She's like, "The thing." I'm like, "The stereo?" She's like, "Yeah, whatever it's called." I'm like, so I'm like, "Why don't you go just turn it back on?" I don't know how to make it work. I'm like, "You seriously don't know how to make a stereo work?" She's like, "No, because if I want to listen to music nowadays, I just get my phone out and put it on iTunes."
Yeah.
And I'm like, so maybe I went over there and like, just hit the button that says radio because it was on CD. So
who the fuck listens to the radio?
I
I mean, I listen to NPR every once.
I mean, when I was writing
Yeah.
when I was writing my novel, I would listen to Spotify, but then like after a couple of weeks, it's like because their algorithm, I'm just listening to like the same songs over and over again. I was like, I'm gonna try something. There's a radio station here I listen to when we're in the car. That's fine. And I figure I'll listen to them. Except they do like 20 minutes of ads every so often. And their ads are so like I can't tune them out like I can do like Spotify ads. It's like every like 20 minutes, there's like a thing. It's like, hey, if you pay us money, you won't have to listen to it. And saying sorry. Just like a guy apologizing for interrupting you, but soft-spoken and saying, sorry, you give us money or not, whatever. Here's
every
music.
Commercial takes like a minute and a half long, and they're all like, come on down to Ray Whitfield Dodge out in Taylor, Michigan. We're going to sell you a car. We got cars exploding off our lot. And they're like, oh, my God, he's finally done yelling. And then the next commercial is like one where it's like a dumb parent.
Did that radio ad for Taylor spokesman to get you involved? Well, fuck that guy, because we got even cheaper deals on how to. And
then it's
I'm
like,
so and so. Hey, I'm trying to be funny on the radio. This is like a funny commercial. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, and then they always have the one where they throw the man under the bus, like, hi, I'm a woman, and I'm super smart. I'm the dumb guy that doesn't know anything about clipping coupons. And then the girl's like, oh, hey, this is how you clip coupons about how to make your dick bigger. And then, oh, that's the whole time, just sticking in Kool-Aid. And then that's the commercial. And I hate those commercials. They always make the dude sound so dumb. And the woman is always the like the homemaker. It's just such a cliche. It just pisses me off. I'm like, can we just get a little original here?
Let's not forget the is your face exploding with acne? Well, try this face cleanser. It will scrub your face and your
Joe
right
Active
off.
face cream. Put it on your face, lady.
It'll melt your face away. Acne gone.
Active gone. And then you're only halfway through it. Then it's like there's a station ad. There's a house ad. It's like, you're listening to W5, the X time.
Tune in at 5 in the morning for the Jimmy and the Blood show. Bang, bang. Your only morning show that's going to keep you awake because we just play car noises. Did you see
that? 40 minutes of music coming at you live after 22 minutes of straight commercials.
I think we should do that on here. I would totally be willing to put in the production value to make a whole bunch of fake ads just to shove them in the middle of the show.
Just put
our show is an hour and a half long, but it's a half an hour of ads.
Well, have you ever listened? Like, I listened. There's a popular morning show here, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna listen to the podcast. They cut out all the ads on the podcast because nobody pays for the podcast ads. The show ends up being like 40 minutes, but it's like a 3-hour long show when it's on the radio. I'm like, it's 40. This is great. It's like when you cut out the ads on a 22-minute show on like Hulu or something like that. It's like, oh wow, this one that was like lightning speed.
When you
accidentally, it's like an hour. Show's an hour long, but really on Hulu it's like 35 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like when you forget to turn off ad block for some of this shit, and then you're watching it, you're like, oh shit, I watched an entire episode of Arrow without ads.
Yeah, and I do turn the ads on for Hulu and all this, even YouTube. I sit through the ads, so I'm supporting my content people. But the Hulu, they punish you bad if you leave your ad block on. They're like, oh, we weren't able to serve you up this ad. Sorry about that. Now we're just going to show you a black screen for 4.5 minutes. Shouldn't have turned off your ad block, dickhole. It's like, oh, God, I forgot to turn off the ad block, and I'm trying to watch Hulu.
But I'm sure a lot of people would still be like, I'd rather watch a black screen for 4.5 minutes.
It takes longer to watch stuff. It's just like, I'll suffer through the Bounty commercial and the Chrysler ad that they keep showing me because I said I liked cars once 3 years ago.
That's why I don't even, like, we're like, which of these do you like better? None. Yeah, I just wait for it to. I'm not gonna choose. I'm gonna wait for it to go because I don't want you to target ads at me.
Oh man, see, I like the targeted ads because at least it has to do with content I'm interested in. But I made mine super targeted. I'm like only car ads, and now I'm like, if I see this Lincoln ad one more time, I'm gonna fucking flip. I can't take it.
What I don't understand is how some of these targeted ads work. Because on YouTube, I get a lot for. A lot of Spanish language ads for Bud Light Chilada, which is
what? Because you're such a heavy drinker.
I don't drink. I don't speak Spanish, and I don't know. Maybe it's just because I live in Los Angeles.
It's your area. It's your demographics.
Yeah, which it's funny because we don't have a lot. If anything, it would be Armenians or Koreans or no, I guess people from Thailand or Armenians are really what we have over here. But there's like I don't know what it's like. Chilada or something like it's like this. I'd never even heard of what it was. Apparently, it's the kind of thing that like construction workers drink because they've smoked so many packs of cigarettes they can't taste anymore, so they drink this garbage. So they
it's the only thing I can taste.
Yeah, it's like fermented tomato or I don't know
fermented
what it is.
Tomato with engine cleaner.
Yeah,
so it cleans them
Coke
out
with tomato juice.
Yeah. So it's just like. But it's always like, hey, ¿dónde estás? Bud Light Chilada. And like, I don't understand what this commercial's for. He says Bud Light a lot, so I assume it's something alcoholic. And they're having a nice family party, but I don't speak your language, sir. I apologize.
Oh, speaking of not speaking the language, Irish, like Gaelic Irish, sounds remarkably like The Sims talking. Like, a whole lot. Like, so much so. Yeah, if a bird and a surety and a buena and a burly bird. I'm like, what the fuck? That's Somalian. It's on the radio. And then so like and a burlity and a Twitter and a batu and a batu for your I'm like, and they like every once in a while they sprinkle in something that's just truly, you know, English that I can understand, and it just like one word sticks out like a thorn. It's like Twitter, Facebook. And then sometimes they'll say like a car company like Chrysler or Ford or something, but other than that,
that's why I respect Japanese, because they stopped adding new words. Like other countries, like Spanish, they will adapt things to make it into a Spanish word or something like that. And but like Japan, like they haven't added a new word since like 1903. So right, everything. Yeah, so they have a completely different written language where they just spell American or European words phonetically in their language, and it's just like, so computer is computer, television is television, so it's a lot easier. You're like, computer, and they're like, phone. Yeah, it's like,
they know these things.
The other day after getting out of a LARPing event, I went with two of my friends to a Gaelic bar here nearby. And I go in to use the men's room, and I'm sitting there.
Did it say gents on the door?
It was in Gaelic. It said men's or something in Gaelic. But I'm sitting there, using the urinal with my back to the door. But the door opens, and naturally I kind of like look over my shoulder to see who's coming in. It was one of my friends, Janelle, was walking into the bathroom, and I'm just kind of like standing there, and she's like, "Oh, sorry," she left. But after I was like, "Why?" She's like, "It looks like it said ladies or something because it was in pink." And it looked very similar, and she wasn't really paying attention and walked into the men's room. So other languages looking like not English.
I'm like, we're exploring this castle. Sarah and I are exploring this castle called the Bunratty Castle. And I'm like, oh, dungeon, sweet. And I like go through here, and I'm like trying to fit through these small corridors. And Sarah's like, I'm going to go over here.
Honey, so there's the bathroom. Close the Iron Maiden on me. I want to see what it's like.
All right, yeah. But I'm sitting here exploring the castle, not sitting. I'm walking around exploring the castle, having a good time. And I'm like, oh, this passage is like surprisingly large considering all the other ones. And I'm still walking. I'm like, oh, fluorescent lights and stuff. And then I walk right into the women's bathroom. I didn't see a sign or anything like that. And I'm like, hey, babe, is this the girls' bathroom? She's like, yes. She's like in the stall. I'm like, all right, I gotta go.
This is the weirdest dungeon I've ever been in.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, dungeon's the next one. But they put the dungeon right next to the ladies' bathroom because who knows where the fuck these toilets are gonna be. And I did not see a sign for it. And I watched a crowd of men all just follow each other right in. I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, they're all like you. They have their little brochure. They're like, ha, 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 ha. And then they turn the corner. And then like 30 seconds later, they all come back kind of like no longer joyed. They're like looking at the ground. They're like,
I'm having such a good time. This is great. Oh, fuck. It's such a... I've never done that. And it was like a weird experience. I'm like, I crossed into like a different dimension. It's like, oh my gosh, there's like couches and like a powder room, and oh, what's this? Oh, they have free cable internet. This is amazing. But it wasn't like that at all.
There's just a guy that hands them $250, American.
This is weird. It's like nothing to them. They actually wipe their butt with American money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so watch out if you're at that castle, the ladies' bath. And the weird part is I never saw the men's bathroom. I only found the ladies' bathroom.
Did you find a sufficient wall?
I know.
Oh. High five.
I did find a toilet, but it wasn't for use. It was huge, though. Cool. Yeah, nice. What were we talking about?
I don't know. Toilets and stuff. It was funny, the season finale of Game of Thrones, there was a guy on a toilet, and I was like, oh, I guess they must have had toilets in castles. It was weird, because I thought it would be like outside in an outhouse, but no, he's like in the middle of a castle, like taking a dump, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
They retrofitted a lot of castles to have toilets, at least in Ireland, because I asked about it, because I'm that guy. I'm like, what the fuck, they have indoor plumbing? They're like, they actually put this plumbing in just for Queen Elizabeth because she went to visit this castle in 1804, and I'm like, oh, so there's like a modern toilet. Like, actually, the toilet is older than this. It was an old toilet. From everything has history. You're like, well, what about this tile here? Like, well, this tile was actually founded in Victorian times.
Yeah, so this is a brand new toilet. Actually, this toilet is actually made from the ground down teeth of those who died during World War I. Like,
I know.
That's gross. It's history. It's like,
It's
still
history.
gross.
No, it's history. I'm like, why is the toilet so big? They're like, actually, they made the toilet large because they wanted it to feel comfortable because people were used to pooping in large open spaces. And so, also, this toilet was mounted in the corner of the room, and we put it in the center of the room so you can see the whole toilet. I'm like, oh, man, it looks really out of place. It's huge. It would be like 4 American toilets put together in like a
And that's saying something, because
I know.
those Americans need big toilets.
Yeah, well, like in Germany, I'm always like, I have to put like some extra padding down there because my dick's always touching the toilet. It's disgusting. It's the worst. So be careful. You know, you got to learn how to sit differently in Europe.
Well, you're supposed to hover over some of them.
I don't have that kind of energy or time. I need to concentrate on one thing, and that's using my tablet while I'm on the toilet.
I don't even stand up to pee in my own house. I'm not gonna do it while I'm in Europe.
Why do you got to bring that up? That's like such a shameful thing that I do a show with 2 people that sit down to pee.
Why? I'm lazy, and then I could sit on my iPad and check Twitter and be like,
if you live 7 years longer than me, I'm gonna attribute it to that. Both of you guys. If you end up living 7 years longer than me, then
It's great.
Yeah, but that 7 years of extra length we get is from sitting on the toilet for so long. So those are really 7 years of extra living.
And I will tell you, Joe, it saves time because you drop trout, you sit down, you do your business, you can look on your phone, your iPad, stand up, pull your pants up. You don't have to wash your hands because you didn't touch anything besides your pants, and you can just leave.
See, I don't know. I'm superstitious about bathrooms. When I go into a bathroom, I'm like, if I'm chewing gum, that gum is contaminated.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
You know, like,
I know.
If I have like a breath mint, I'm like, oh god, my breath mint's full of poop molecules now. I gotta spit it out, and now I gotta wash my hands. If I'm in a bathroom, I guarantee you that I'm washing my hands on the way out. Even if I'm just going in to like comb my hair or something, or be like, oh, I got a booger in my nose. Let me go check it out in the mirror. Gotta wash my hands. I'm in the bathroom. And I don't know. That's just the way life is for me. Obsessive compulsive, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Not really though. I think that's just sanitary.
Yeah, that's kind of offensive to people. I always hate that. People are like, oh, I'm so OCD about this stuff.
Yeah,
I wash my hands after I wipe my butthole. It's like, that's not OCD.
No.
OCD is, if I don't touch every knob in my house 15 times, my mom might die.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, always step over these cracks and never do this. And the burner thing's like a popular one though. Like, gotta check my burners in my house. Gotta make sure the house isn't gonna burn down.
That's good. That's a good habit to get into. Make sure that
Right.
your house that you don't have open. That's not an OCD thing. That's just make sure that your house doesn't burn down when you're away.
And even like I check them often, but I don't think it's obsessive compulsive. You know?
No,
It's like,
obsessive.
if I'm walking by, I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, they're done, they're good. Don't worry.
Obsessive compulsive is if I don't clap my hands 15 times, then my mom gets AIDS. Like you literally believe that if you clap your hands 14 or 16 times instead of 15, that something horrible will happen.
You know what though?
I in college I would lock my college dorm room door, walk 5 feet, go, did I lock it? Go back, check it, make sure it was locked, walk away again, think, no, I'm pretty sure I didn't lock it. Walk back and check it a 3rd time, open it up, close it, double check the lock, and then I was okay and felt satisfied I could leave.
So I don't want to call it OCD. My habit that I've formed, because it is shitty if you actually have that and it's a big problem in your life. But my like superstitious habit that I've formed was before I'm getting onto a plane, I always like tap it twice for some reason. Like as I'm entering the threshold of the doorway, always hit it. Just like
make
hey,
sure it's solid, not a ghost plane.
You're a plane. I'm a person. You're gonna get me there. I totally forgot about it on the flight back. And the whole time on the plane, I'm like,
died.
I'm a ghost. I told you. I'm a fucking ghost.
There were 30,000 feet in the air. Joe's like, can you just open the door? I gotta tap the outside. Just open the door. It'll be really quick.
Touch it.
Not very many people get sucked out. Just open and close it. I'll tap the outside. You hold on to me so I don't fly out. We'll be okay.
I worked at an airport and I know how it works and stuff, but still every once in a while I'm like, all right, statistically speaking, if we make it off the runway and we make it to this altitude, we're gonna survive and we'll make it back. But if we're landing and once we start taxiing, then that's the other time it's gonna, and like so that stuff like runs through my head, and then like eventually I'm like, oh my god, I'm so thirsty. Why is this plane so dry? I get concerned about other things. But yeah, I didn't die, I don't think. But who knows? All this talk about ghosts.
Well, speaking of ghosts, let's stop talking about all this stupid shit and start plugging each other.
Yeah.
My plug for this week is I haven't fucking foggiest idea. I guess it'll be, and I plugged it previously, but I'll plug it again. Our sketch team released a new sketch called Crossword Bros, or Crossword Puzzle Bros.
Oh, I didn't watch that yet.
I
thought it was Crossword Puzzle Bras.
Yeah, it's Bras. Yeah.
You plugged it the last show you were on. I listened. Yeah, wait, hold on. Stop everything. You called the last show Perfect Joe Nose, but I don't remember hearing anything about my nose.
Well, it's supposed to be noise, but and it is noise.
Okay. I just
noise.
misread it then. Okay, because I mean, there was good impersonations and stuff, and actually, you guys had me cracking up. I'm like, God damn you people, this is great.
You're sitting in the airport listening, like, man, and people are like, what the hell's that guy?
I know. Like, what's that guy bitching about? Like, I heard him talk. That's just how he talks, and they took me through security. Anyway, sorry, Eric. I'm sorry to shit all over your plug. I thought it said nose, and I'm like, what are they talking about my nose for?
No, it's noise.
I'm just an idiot. Don't worry.
Yeah. God. And you fucking threw me off because I'm like, fuck, I'm a dyslexic. I probably spelled it nose. And I was like, Google it. What's that say? First Google.
You know what's hilarious? I'm like, God damn it, Eric's dyslexic. I knew he spelled it wrong, but I'm actually dyslexic and I read it wrong. Ain't that a bitch? So, are you done with your plug, Eric?
Yeah.
Go check out the skit that I haven't checked out yet. I'm sure it's magnificent. My plug for this week is EverydayDriver.com's new feature film, Mid-Engine and Mountains. They review a Porsche, and they review an Alpha, and they review a Lotus in the mountains. It wasn't a ghost the whole time. Go check it out. It's a feature film by some independent car review guys, and they are awesome. So, Cayman, Elise, and 4C. Go check them out. Ike, what do you got?
Nothing.
Cool.
You can email us at theshow@justcoolenough.com so that we have emails for probably what will be our last show of the year next week.
Is it really that time already?
I mean, next Wednesday is the 23rd.
Oh, no, it's the 24th next
24th,
Wednesday, so I'm not going to be here.
Well, go fucking figure. This is my shocked face.
So it looks like this is the last show of the year.
Yeah, because then it's the 31st, and we'll all be celebrating New Year's Eve that night.
What? I don't even get to do a prediction show. This was very.
Well, you're the one that decided not to be here.
God damn it! Why am I doing this to myself?
So, Joe, what are your predictions for 2014? Go quick now. Go.
My predictions is that I will lose. I'm not going to be on at least 50% of the shows.
That's what I said.
My prediction came true. No one emailed us.
I emailed us.
No, you don't count.
You didn't say that. My prediction is...
Wait. New Year's resolutions. That's even a better one.
That's for our next show, Joe.
This is our special. This is our end of the year special. It just turned into that. Just now.
So what is your New Year's resolution, Joe?
To learn at least some German by April and possibly lose like 15 pounds by then. They're both on there. But I don't like saying the weight one because that's been ongoing.
You're like, hey, learn some German,
well,
lose 15 pounds, get totally ripped, marry Scarlett Johansson, write the great American novel. You know, just simple things.
Simple things. I want to learn all German. I want to speak primarily in German every day.
Win the lottery.
You mentioned earlier, Joe, that you went to the gym the other day and you heard them playing, all Backstreet Boys and whatnot. And I was thinking, you must go to the gym about as often as you do the show.
It's true, actually. My guy, Chris, I had a bad dream about my trainer. I remember I had a dream that I walked into the class and he was like, "Well, whoop-de-freaking-do. You made it, Joe Cariotti." And he publicly shamed me. He like went over all my things. Yeah, he did. He was like, "Your arms were at this when you started, and now they're the same." And he like went through all of my measurements in front of the whole
You started fat, and you're still fat, you fat bastard.
I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then I woke up. I'm like, "I gotta go to the gym." So, but I haven't been in the country for like the last 3 or 4 months. It feels like, but weeks. So.
Oh, they don't get gyms in Germany?
No, everybody's just naturally strong and handsome, like you, Eric. That's where you come from.
Not like them Italians.
Yeah, they're all hairy and fuck like animals. Strong, magnificent beasts.
I tried to end this show like half an hour ago, guys.
This is the special, Eric.
Well, so my prediction is Joe won't be here for more than 40% of the show since he took 50%. And my New Year's resolution is by April. The person I was supposed to be doing this $75 like weight loss challenge with, we keep going, "Oh, we're gonna put it off now to this day, and no, we're gonna put it off till
because
this
you
day."
guys are both
So
still
now, well, yes, but so now what we've decided is we will not put it off any further. April school vacation will be the date, and we raise the stakes to $100. So we are not going to push it back. So my goal is to lose more weight than she does.
You know what you should do?
Here's a tip. Gain a bunch of weight right before then, and then drop it real fast.
That is the thing. You know what you should do? Because you keep pushing the date back, you should just put like $3 in a high-yield savings account, and then just let just inflation and interest take care of that extra, and it'll be like you didn't have to spend any money at all.
So you're telling me I'm going to lose? Is that what you're saying, Joe?
I'm just going to say you're going to keep pushing the date back even in April.
No, that's not this time. $100. We raise the stakes.
You need to raise the stakes higher. Be like, if you don't do it, you have to kill a small rabbit with your bare hands.
Yeah. You got to pick you have to kill one of your loved ones. Mother, father, aunt, uncle, I don't care. One of them's going to die.
And lastly, and this is nothing because I know Eric probably wants to go eat and I have food waiting for me. Joe, I literally had a listener of Fitness Pals contact me and be like, "Why haven't you done the show since then?" They wanted us to keep going, but fat fuck there, you stopped doing the shows with me.
Why did you look at me like that? That's a mean look.
Because that was my ghost look. I'm sorry. I always look like that.
I feel cold on the inside.
Wait till later. I'll warm you up.
Maybe it's just my heart slowing down. Thanks for listening to My Fitness Pals and the end of the year special. Here at Just Cool Enough.
With your end of the year stuff or your predictions for us for the next
predictions and resolutions. What do you guys have? Send it to the email address theshow@justcoolenough.com. You can follow me on Twitter @SpeedyF40.
You can follow me on Twitter @Duncor, DUNCOR.
Or you can follow me on Twitter, although I never post anything, but you can chat with me. It's @Railvis.
All right.
Wow, yeah, that was it. Okay.
We'll see him January 7th.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you starting next year because we're lazy shits. But until then,
I'm gonna be in Vegas on January 7th.
Joe, nobody cares. Eric's trying to end the show. Shut the fuck up. I have tacos in the oven.
Thanks for listening to the final Just Cool Enough. Apparently, it's until we ever do a podcast again. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a wonderful Christmas and or whatever holiday you celebrate, or no holiday, and fuck off.
That's the best part of Jack Move donating us money. $2 subscription to a show we're never going to do again.
Yeah, wow. That's
Joke's on you, Jack Move. We were waiting for you.